Going into this documentary was a lot easier said than done. I, for one, listen to music a lot, and I feel like people around me also listen to music a lot. So trying to approach this topic of music as non-biased as possible is a lot easier said than done. I also had to get people from a wide variety or a wide range of music. People that don't listen to music at all, and some people that work around music in their day-to-day lives.
Your environment, I guess, it kind of helps you just
like-
chill, or maybe do what you like to do. Focus more instead of zoning out, or you could just zone out sometime, be somewhere you want to.
Do you think that music has a future to it? Do you think there will be a time where it's all music has been created and there is no future for music?
No. You can always find a different beat in music. You can always change up notes. If there doesn't have to be a certain rhythm, even the way you might have 2 songs with the exact same amount of notes and the exact same notes. It's the way you sing it, or the way you play it, or the way you have the tempo, it's different. So no.
Do you play an instrument? Or do you hope to play an instrument?
So my friend's gonna teach me some piano. I'm gonna learn, over the summer I might learn guitar, and I play flute.
But with these instruments, do you consider them a hobby, or do you consider them more of I want to get famous with these?
I just like doing them. I like creating music. I think it's just fun to do. It's not I want to be the most famous person ever. It's just the chill thing to do. Oh, hey, I can put on some tunes I recorded for our picnic. Not I'm gonna go to a concert and play those. Yeah, that would be cool, but it's not my biggest thing to do.
There is a right way to make music. Do you think for example, someone smacking pots and pans against each other compared to an orchestra playing violins, do you think there's a right or wrong way?
I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. I think music is probably universal in animal life and possibly even plant life. I mean, if you stop and think about it, we all hear a heartbeat before we're conscious of anything. We hear our mother's heart beating over our heads before we are born. And that happens to every living thing that is born of a female.
Yeah.
I don't know that chickens and other birds, but listen to the way birds sing.
Exactly.
And birds sing and improve or change their songs because, and most of the singers are males, because the female likes it.
So you think music is...
I think it's universal in where there's life. That heartbeat is universal in so many things. And they've also shown that a lot of plants respond to music. They'll do better in environments, in greenhouses where they play music and that sort of thing. There is a pulse going somewhere in the world, but I think especially in humans, and probably any living thing that is born of a female that develops under that heartbeat. I mean, you have seen pictures of even geckos, which come out of eggs, that will bounce and have a kind of rhythm in the photography. And that, I don't know how much of that is manipulated behind the camera, but Disney used to do some things like that where animals would be shown moving in time with a certain amount of music.
Do you think that learning music makes you appreciate it more?
I think so. I really do. But I think just like painting, learning about painting, learning about sculpture, learning about architecture, learning about plants, learning about cats, learning about humans, learning about anything, I think takes an investment in time and thought. And I think what's unfortunate is there's so much interesting stuff coming at us now that it's sometimes hard to decide
It's overwhelming.
what you're going. Are you going to learn something deep and narrow, or are you going to learn something wide and not so deep?
Mm-hmm.
I used to think of education in kindergarten. You learn a lot of things, but only a little taste.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you go in school, it gets narrower and narrower, but deeper and deeper. And when you go to graduate school, you might just be studying this one little teeny tiny thing, but you're going to study it in really.
You're going to go to the core of the earth.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
What is music to you guys? Like, what do you think? Do you use it as like a form of expressionism, or like, is it just kind of like, oh yeah, I do this as a hobby and this is like fun?
Well, considering when I joined the band, I pretty much just like left everything behind. I called out of work and told them that I couldn't make it in. I have to get tested for COVID, and ended up not going back to work for 2 weeks. And then after I got back, told them I'm switching to only 3 days a week. So I'm only working 3 days a week now, and I live on my own, so it's hard. But I am trying to treat music as like a full-time career. And I think that's always just been kind of my direction.
Yeah.
What about you, Fox?
I feel like, music for me, considering that it's art, I just enjoy doing it because it's an outlet, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
when I'm up there, it's energy coming out, you know what I mean? And it just
I
kind
feel
of,
pretty drained right
like,
now.
if we don't practice for like a week, we're angry at the world, because practice is a time where we can just get everything out, you know what I mean? And that's what I think is really nice about music and art in general, is it's something different for everyone, you know what I mean? Because it's art.
Yeah, I see music as more of an outlet than a career. Like, it's something that I really enjoy and kind of want to do and have done throughout my whole life. But I'm actually pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering, so I'm about to go to school, do that in the fall. So it's just kind of a fun thing we're doing right now.
Music, has it changed your perspective on anything? Like that be like how you view the world, or like how you view just everyday life? Like, has it really like changed your perspective? That can be like your own music, or that can be like music that you feel like.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, I got really into Rage Against the Machine in middle school, and when I started listening to their music, I started to, think harder about things like the world and society and how things are, you know what I mean? And I don't know, I guess a lot of the lyrics I write have a lot to do with that. But yeah, I would say that it's changed a lot of my views on the world.
I'd say personally, it's kind of made me like less like conscious about what like other people think about like what I like the output that I create. Like, for example, like Van Gogh didn't cater to whatever the mainstream art type was. He made art that was his, and so it's gotten me to really think about I'm not necessarily always making art for other people. It's an outlet for myself.
No, for sure. I mean, the parts that I write for our music is like kind of reflecting on what's going on in my life. Like, it really is a narration like that I've created, and it's kind of encouraged me to like express my.
In conclusion to this documentary, I think that I learned something from everybody, all the way from my little cousin to some band members that I've never met before. I think that they all provided something a little bit different than each other. And I think that's really been able to make my music perspective a lot more enhanced than it was before, because now I see music as, oh, I don't really need to have a viewpoint on it, and it's more objective, and people perceive it how they want to perceive it. It's not, there's no label on it, and you can just perceive music however you feel like you can perceive music.